As Nika grew, the world outside Humulesti began to pull at him. The village still held the river, the lanes, the orchards, the familiar voices, and the comfort of being known by everyone. But grown-ups have a way of looking beyond what a child loves. They speak of school, future, discipline, and becoming someone. To a boy, these words can sound like doors closing behind him. There came a time when Nika had to leave the safe shape of home and follow the road toward another school. The bundle was not large, but it felt heavy. It held clothes, food, hope, worry, and all the invisible things a child carries when he does not yet understand farewell. His mother tried to be strong. His father tried to be practical. Nika tried to look brave, because children often perform courage before they actually possess it. The first steps away from Humulesti were the hardest. Behind him were the fences he knew, the river he loved, the roof under which his mother called his name. Ahead of him were strangers, lessons, rules, and rooms where nobody cared what tree he had climbed or what path led fastest to the water. The road did not ask if he was ready. It simply continued. In the new place, everything felt slightly wrong. The air was not the same. The houses did not stand in the same friendly way. Even the dogs barked with unfamiliar voices. Nika discovered that a child can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. At night, he remembered home so strongly that even the scoldings seemed precious. A mother's anger, when remembered from far away, can become proof that someone belongs to you. School in a strange place was different from school at home. There were new faces, new habits, and new ways to be embarrassed. Nika had to learn not only letters, but how to enter a room where nobody yet knew his mischief, his excuses, his courage, or his foolishness. He missed the old jokes. He missed the classmates who had annoyed him. He even missed the fearsome chair, because at least it belonged to a world he understood. Still, the road teaches what comfort cannot. It teaches the weight of distance. It teaches a child that home is not just a place where he sleeps. Home is the sound of familiar footsteps, the smell of familiar bread, the way a parent says your name differently from everyone else. Home is the first map the heart learns to read. Nika met other children, other teachers, other rules. Sometimes he adapted. Sometimes he resisted. Sometimes he behaved well only long enough for people to think he had changed. Underneath, the same restless engine kept turning. He wanted to learn and escape at the same time. He wanted praise, but not too much effort. He wanted freedom, but also the secret safety of knowing someone would come looking for him. On difficult days, he remembered Humulesti like a lantern. The Ozana River returned in his mind. The cherry trees returned. The schoolyard returned. His mother's voice returned, first as a complaint, then as comfort. Childhood had begun to turn into memory while he was still living it. This part of the story is quieter than the mischief. It is about the ache of growing. It is about the first time the world becomes larger than the yard outside your house. It is about discovering that knowledge may be useful, but longing is powerful. Nika did not always know why adults sent children away to learn. He only knew that every lesson cost him a little piece of home. And yet, slowly, something in him widened. He learned to watch people. He learned that every village has its own rhythm, every teacher his own patience, every child his own way of hiding fear. He learned that being away from home does not erase home. It sharpens it. When he walked unfamiliar roads, he was not empty. He carried Smiranda's worry, Stefan's steadiness, the laughter of friends, the church bell, the river glitter, the dust of the lanes, and the stubborn desire to remain himself. These were not things he could pack. They had already packed themselves inside him. So the road away from Humulesti became part of Humulesti too. Every mile taught him what the village had meant. Every lonely night made the old rooms warmer in memory. Every new face made the loved faces clearer. The boy was being pulled into the world, but the world he left behind was beginning to become his greatest treasure. The road away from home also changed the way Nika heard silence. In Humulesti, silence was never truly silent. There was always a cartwheel, a rooster, a neighbor calling, the river moving, a door closing, or his mother doing something necessary in the next room. Away from home, silence became large. It filled corners. It waited beside the bed. It made him listen to his own thoughts, and his thoughts often walked back to the village before he could stop them. He began to understand that courage is not always loud. Sometimes courage is simply staying where you have been sent, even when you want to run back. Sometimes it is opening the book again. Sometimes it is entering the classroom after yesterday's embarrassment. Sometimes it is admitting that the world is bigger than your pride. Nika also learned how strange adults can seem when they are not your own. A stranger's correction feels colder. A stranger's rules seem harder. A stranger's house has customs you do not know until you break them. The boy who had felt clever at home discovered that cleverness travels badly when it has no manners beside it. He had to observe. He had to adjust. Not always successfully, but more than before. There were small humiliations, the kind that stay with a child because no one else remembers them. A word pronounced wrong. A task misunderstood. A laugh from someone who had no right to laugh. A moment when homesickness rose so suddenly that he had to look away. These are not heroic events, but they shape a heart. They teach tenderness toward anyone who arrives somewhere new. At the same time, he found wonder. New roads meant new skies. New villages meant new faces. Other children had their own games, their own fears, their own ways of testing bravery. Slowly, the unknown stopped being only a threat. It became a lesson. The world was not replacing Humulesti. It was showing him how much larger memory could become. The adults wanted education to make him useful. Life was doing something more complicated. It was teaching him distance. It was teaching him that love can ache. It was teaching him that a person can belong to a place even after leaving it. These are lessons no school writes on a board, but they are learned deeply. Sometimes, when the evening fell and the day's noise faded, Nika imagined the Ozana in the same light. He imagined children still running where he had run. He imagined Smiranda pausing at the doorway, perhaps thinking of him, perhaps only calling someone else to work. In his mind, home became both real and magical. The farther he traveled, the more carefully his memory painted it. And so this second part is not about one single road. It is about all roads that take a child beyond the first circle of love. It is about the pain of becoming larger than the place that made you. It is about discovering that leaving home is not betrayal. Sometimes it is the way home becomes eternal inside you.